Winning an argument is about being smarter, clearer, and more controlled than your opponent. Regardless of your stance or whether this is correct, you can use certain tactics and signs in order to put the odds in your favor. Most people think that winning an argument is about being loud or more aggressive, but really, you can use proven psychology in order to win an argument every time, no matter your opposition or the topic. So, here's how to win an argument every time. Topic 1. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is the psychological discomfort we feel when our actions or beliefs contradict each other. For example, let's say you have to apologize to someone even though you don't believe what you did was wrong. This would be cognitive dissonance. Now, your mind is motivated to reduce this discomfort, either by changing your belief or justifying the contradiction. In this example, you might try and change your viewpoint that what you did was in fact wrong to make up for this very dissonance. But how can we use this to our advantage in an argument? People, well, the brain, does not like discomfort. So, in an argument setting, instead of attacking directly, point out any contradiction in their logic. The key here is to let the discomfort hang, as it's the silence that will get their brain ticking the most. If you can ask someone to reconcile two opposing things they said or believe in order to negate that very dissonance, they are much more likely to have a new level of change in viewpoint. And in an argument, even the slightest weakness in viewpoints is very crucial when you're trying to prove your point. Tactic 2. The Voss technique. Used during FBI negotiations, this tool relies on tactical empathy. By mirroring, you repeat the last few words to build rapport, and you then move on to labeling to create psychological safety. This is proven to trigger the limbic system, reducing defensiveness and aggression, and overall creating the I feel heard feeling. So, how do we put it into action? Repeat 1 to 3 words from their last sentence before taking a short pause. Then, move on, but be sure to start your next part with a label. The label going along the lines of "it seems like" or "it sounds like." Not only will this almost turn them to your side, but also help to sway the argument into your direction. Just be sure not to overuse it, as there is a fine line between psychology and sarcasm. Tactic 3. Aristotle's triangle of persuasion. What some would call the gold standard of persuasion, this method looks to balance logic, credibility, and emotional resonance. This is particularly important as different people are persuaded by different things, and these tactics cannot just be a one-size-fits-all. So, combining 3 appeals, it means your argument becomes multi-dimensional almost. But how do we use this? Let's split these 3 factors up. Firstly, logic, which looks at facts, data, or examples. Next, credibility, relying on experiences and fairness. Then, emotional resonance. This looks to connect them to human values such as fears or hopes. Aristotle emphasized that a successful persuasive appeal often involves a balanced combination of all 3 of these. When ethos, pathos, and logos are effectively integrated, the message becomes more persuasive and compelling. Tactic 4. The primary recency effect. This effect is a psychological value where people remember the first and last thing you tell them in much more detail, as the middle seems to be more blurred. The pattern of remembering the beginning and end of a list better than the middle is often visualized as a U-shaped curve. This pattern has been used to support the idea that different memory systems, being short-term and long-term, are involved in processing information at different points in a sequence. If you were given a list, initial items are likely to be transferred to long-term memory, as they have less competition for storage space and are more opportunities for rehearsal. In comparison, the last items on the list are fresh in the short-term memory when required. As a result, begin the argument with your most compelling but also emotionally grounded points. Then, end with a concise but meaningful summary of your position and takeaway. Save nuance for the middle, and do be sure not to trail off. Close with strength and integrity. And if you enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe.